Good morning, beekeeping fans. I'm going to be putting this Trapout nuke, Hogan style, onto a tree today. I'll just give you a preliminary look at the pieces of it. The long vertical boards there and the horizontal board are going to be on the ground, holding up the nuke to the tree. You'll see how I install that in a moment. This is a nuke I built at home, and it's not entirely perfect. It doesn't quite fit 5 frames. It really only holds 4, but it's a couple mediums and a couple deeps, so it gives me an option of pulling from the different hives, which right now I'm in the transition between equipment. You'll see that tube on the inside bottom of the nuke has a matching hole on the back of the nuke. On the tree, I already have a tube that'll slide right through there and go in a good bit of the way. Now what I did is, you can see the slot there. This right here is just a piece of plastic clean excluder with a Trapout cone. I don't know if I'll use this, but I built it so that I could slide this in here if I want to have the drones and queen exit but allow bees to go back. I did this because my thinking is, if I don't see the queen but maybe see some eggs, I think she might be in the nuke but she went back into the tree, I could put this on and this would allow drones and a queen to come only into the Trapout nuke. But if there are worker bees and the queen, I happen to have them in the nuke, worker bees could continue carrying queen pheromone and pollen and other things back into the tree while the remaining brood in the tree is still developing. That would keep them from maybe starting an emergency queen cell in the tree. That's my theory. I don't know, but gonna give it a try. When I'm ready, I can put a thin piece of plywood instead of the plastic excluder, a thin piece of plywood with the Trapout cone. Drop that on there and it becomes a true single one-way into the nuke box, and that would allow me to get all the bees as I can out of the tree. So I got a little disc entrance here that I can close when I have the bees. I'll show you more when I get this on the tree. Okay, well, I'm over next to the tree and I've got my stand and my nuke box, Trapout nuke, and I wanted to show you the tree. This is the transition tube and the tree mount I made. I used some stainless steel screws to attach it to the tree. I don't figure that's going to cause any damage to the tree. The saran wrap is because I used some black silicone to seal the trap to the tree, and I didn't want to leave a whole bunch of black silicone on the lady's tree. So I wrapped it in saran wrap first. I figured the black silicone would adapt and shape to the saran wrapped tree, and that way I could avoid getting caulk all over the tree. Now it looks like most of the bees are traveling in and out. There's still some bees. Can't really see it. Try from this side. There are bees either trying to clear away the silicone or still looking for an alternate entrance. But there's just some bees hanging out there. Most of the bees certainly are traversing in and out of the tube. Sorry for the lighting here, but let's see. Yeah, maybe that'll show up. Sorry if it doesn't. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and install the trap, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Well, this is rather encouraging. I just put the box on, and the bees are already going straight for that front entrance. Must be close enough to the last entrance and a nice dark hole that they're just heading right in. It's quite convenient. Very few are trying to get in back at the tube. And yeah, they're still, I don't know, yeah, maybe you'll see it. Some bees looking around the old entrance, but I don't believe they're actually getting in it. Okay, so now I've got the nuke box attached. I built just a quick little H-frame stand to support it. Crossbar right underneath the hive. One screw attached to the side of the hive, just because we have lots of wind. And I've got a crossbar down there. Now, one thing I did do, just to make sure that stayed in place and didn't get, you know, randomly moving for any particular reason. I did drill some screws through it into the ground, or rather I screwed it first so they were just kind of spikes sticking out the bottom. So that'll hold it in place on the ground. Screw in the side will hold it there. The H-frame will hold it up and down. And what I'm going to do is drive one more screw in here to go through the nuke body into the transition. I'll probably do it right up at the top so I don't go into the tube, but there's a 1/2 inch of plywood there, so I'll try and fit that on the tube. And bees will riled up, but that's to be expected. And always be wearing a full suit if you're doing a cutout, trap out, anything like that. You never know the temperament of the bees. Okay, I drilled my last screw. I didn't drill all the way in, but it's certainly holding between the nuke box and the transition tube. You cannot push in or out on that. It is well secured. The front's well secured. It'll wobble a little bit, which is not ideal. That's the nuke shaking, not my camera. And that's not ideal. But you know what? It's going to work. So, I think I'm done here. I'm going to clean up my stuff and go ahead and head on out. I'll come back in a day or two, make sure that the bees are not actually finding a way to chew through the silicone, and maybe spray some other foam insulation. Maybe not some silicone, but something else that might fill up any gaps. So, I will give you more updates later. Thank you very much.